Welcome to round 1, season 4 of the iRacing British Touring Car Championship here on BSR TV. We're back for another season and things are about to get started. From Brands Hatch Indy with me, Chris Cohen, in the commentary box with Clyde Whiting. Evening, Clyde. And last season has finished about 2 weeks ago. We say season, it's roughly 13 weeks long. And that was dramatic at the end of the season. The last season's champion was Andreas Katz, and he beat out Stelian Chepalevsky to take the title in the final meet all the way round the season, round to the end of Brands Hatch once again. And it was fairly dramatic. He did well to secure it. Both of those drivers are back in action this week as well. The drivers have got 10 minutes to qualify, and we're about 5 minutes through that at the moment. Some new entries this time round, Clyde. Could be interesting. New teams as well. You had a chance to check any of those guys out?
Yeah, I've had a quick look. Obviously, there's a lot of new fast guys joined the series as well, which should make things interesting. I don't think the usual people up the front will get it their own way this season.
Well, the qualifying positions are just up on the screen with about 4 minutes of qualifying left. Chepalevsky is at the top with 47.8. Burleson second. Richard Wild third. Hoog is fourth. And Russell Laidler. Oh! A little bit of a qualifying accident there. Russell Laidler is down there in 5th place at the moment. Hoog has proved to be pretty quick. He was in it from a few races towards the end of last season as well. Oh, and there's Simon Field as well. He's running in the new 888 livery. And just to let the viewers know, Clyde couldn't get in the session through no fault of his own. So he's going to be doing what you guys do and watching on YouTube. So unable to provide us with any kind of live information, but still good to have you here, Clyde.
Yeah, going back to what you were saying with the new teams, obviously towards the end of last season we had the CQR team starting the series. They are looking extremely strong this season. Yeah,
well, Burleson, 2nd place. Laidler is in 5th place at the moment. They've split themselves into 3 teams because of the seeding point rules in this season. So this is CQR Fusion for Russell Laidler. Burleson, who is in 2nd, is in the CQR Ultimate team, if you like. And there's another team as well, but because of the way the gridding works, the pre-qualifying is required to get you into the qualifying session, to get you into the races themselves. And that means that only the number of grid spots, the fastest people will make it in. So Brands Hatch, we got 41. So only 41 drivers will make it into the qualifying session. So that's got to be tough on some of them, Clyde.
Yeah, it certainly is. It means for that pre-qualifying session, you've got to get a decent lap in. As we know with iRacing, incident points off tracks, that just ruins your lap and doesn't count. So, you know, we could see some of the fast guys not being able to get a fast lap in and therefore dipping out on the actual qualifying and the race.
Now we got well, there's actually going to be 40 cars on the grid for the race, but excuse me, it's a tight grid, isn't it? It's not a very long track to have 40 cars on there, expecting lots of action.
It's a very tight track, let alone a tight grid. The Indy circuit at Brands is such a quick, busy lap. There's so many places that you can lose it, but we are supposed to have the best of the best, so let's keep some fingers and toes crossed and hope we don't have too many accidents.
So Adam Terry, interestingly, has just gone pole. I never expected that. I mean, he's not slow, but no, he's just gone 2nd. He's just been pipped by Chepalevsky, actually. So Chepalevsky 1st, Terry 2nd, Burleson's been pushed down to 3rd, and there's last season's champion Andreas Katz in 4th position. So that's it's going to be interesting. Katz is Katz had the liberty last season, Clyde, of playing it nice and cool. He had enough points to just drift, just finish consistently and win the championship. But this time round, things could be different, especially with Chepelevsky on pole.
Yeah, Katz, towards the end of the season, obviously Chepelevsky just had the worst luck you could ever imagine, which gave Katz a nice comfortable points lead, and in the end he could cruise to the finish. I don't see this season being any different. I think the person that wins it is the person that scores regularly, rather than, winning one race and binning it the next race.
Absolutely, the level of competition will have gone up once again. But we should see the guys at the top making most of the races, not, further down the field it's a different matter, because you might not even be able to pre-qualify if there's a limited number of grid positions, but the faster guys, these guys you see on the screen at the moment in the top 10, they should be okay. No sign of Simon Field in the top 10, which is unusual. He's currently down in 13th position. And Sutton, who we normally see qualify very well, is 12th. So that could be interesting. Oh, big sideways moment for one of the CQRs. But Clyde, Sutton in 12th.
That just shows you the strength of the field at the moment. Chepelevsky's just banged in a time almost 2/10 quicker than anybody else, which is amazing.
Absolutely. Well, it's a fantastic time. That is the final grid, so Chepelevsky will lead the field away once we get going. And the race is going to be starting pretty much immediately after this, as Chepelevsky takes his battered qualifying car off the circuit. We're gridding up in a moment for a 16-lap race, the first one of 3 this evening, rounds 1, 2 and 3, all from Brands Hatch Indy, all this evening, all on BSR TV, and we're a little bit late getting going with this one, so apologies for that. And the cars are making their way to the grid. Any predictions, Clyde?
First race, Brands Indy, absolutely no way. But it is nice to see a couple of new names in the top 10.
So, Chepelevsky, Terry second on the grid, Burleson, then Katz, then Wild. Huger's 6th, Laidler 7th, Lozenord is 8th, he's a new name, Baker, another new name, is 9th, and Robert Fagg 10th. So, Adrian Holm, just missing out on the top 10, is 11th, so that's another new name. But Simon Field is in 13th, starting just ahead of Ashley Sutton. Yeah, it's just behind Ashley Sutton, I should say, in 12th place. Well, that's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Ashley knows how to overtake. He could be having problems with this circuit, though, so we'll just have to watch him and see what happens.
Well, just look at all those cars already forming up. This is the biggest start to any British Touring Car season we've had here on BSR TV. 40 cars will make their way to the grid. Still no sign of Chepelevsky on the front of the grid. Maybe he's decided to hold everybody up and make some last-minute changes there. The new 888 engineering cars are the black ones at the top left of your picture there. Simon Field is one of those. And how important is it to be on the inside of the grid here?
You can go round the outside. If you try and defend on the inside into turn 1, you don't get the run out of it. So, yeah, it gives you a good chance to defend, but you've got to watch for those going around the outside of you.
Well, still no sign of Stelian Chepelevsky at the front of this grid. It's getting about the time where we're going to get this race underway, so if he doesn't appear, and he's not on the grid. He's not on the grid, so that's big news. Chepelevsky not on the grid as the lights go on. Round 1, Season 4 of the iRacing British Touring Car Championship is go. No Chepelevsky, so Adam Field will, Adam Field will lead the field away. There we go, Burleson into second place. Richard Wild's making a move for third already down the inside there. He's got Katz to think about. It's going to be an interesting first few corners, let's put it that way. What's going to happen at Druids as we come down here for the very first time? Everybody's through there, okay. Oh no, Matthew Webb, one of the CQRs, has spun it at Paddock Hill Bend, and we didn't see it. So no Chepelevsky, Clyde, that's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Not sure what's happened there. He must have had some sort of technical issue.
Well, qualified on pole and then didn't make the race. So Adam Terry is showing us that there's so many cars on this grid at the moment that the timing information is all over the place. So Adam Terry is showing us third. He is your race leader at the moment. He's got... oh yeah, there we go. It's all updated now. Brilliant. So Craig Burleson is in second. Richard Wiles just behind him. Hoog has been pushed down to fourth position in the Bianco. Laidler is in fifth, just behind him as well. And that's Martin van Loosenoord just behind in the Dynojet car. So let's go on board with Laidler on lap 2. It's a very tight, twisty track. That's not Russell Laidler, that's Adam Terry. So let's go on board with Russell Laidler. Like I said, it's a very tight, twisty track, and everyone keeping it in shape more or less at the moment. So that's good to see.
It seems fairly clean at the moment, which is, like you say, very good to see, but patience do wear thin on small tracks.
And Ashley Sutton is out of the running. No idea what happened to him, but he is no longer in the running as Laidler comes through onto lap 3. Where is this turn of pace come from Adam Terry? He's going monumentally fast, looking to pull out a little bit of a lead in the front as Burleson just runs a little bit wide and lets Richard Wild have a quick sniff. Further down the field, that is Martin Johnson in the CQR Takata machine, and just look at that huge great line of cars coming through. I'll go on board with Martin Johnson as well if we can, and nice to see so many of the CQRs turning up for another season. So many, we've got 3 teams of them in fact. So Simon Field is just up in front of him in 12th position, and then Baker in front of him. Oh, and that's we've got a move up front coming into Paddock Hill Bend there. Not sure who that was. Katz side by side with oh, Katz has been taken out. One of the KX Momentums, and who is that? Someone's taken out Katz. Unbelievable. One of the KX Momentums was looked to be at fault there. Let's see if we can go back and have another look. Oh, he'll be furious with that one. Absolutely furious, Clyde.
He certainly will, but that is the trouble with the big fields. Anything can happen, doesn't matter how good a driver you are, as we see with Chepelevsky at the end of last season.
Oh, and it's the Speedworks car just behind that's given the KX Momentum a little bit of a momentum, shall we say, and propelled it into Andreas Katz, and those two went round, and the Speedworks offender seems to have got away with it. So Katz is now down to 16th place and in real trouble.
I've just seen that on the replay, and yes, Katz is in trouble. He's got some big damage on his car. Whether he can keep it running or not, we'll have to wait and see.
So that's that 888 is Simon Field, who's now up to 8th position, just overtaking Robert Fagg there. Martin Baker's up to 10th. Martin Johnson up to 10th, rather. David Baker in 11th, and up at the front it's pretty much unchanged, so we'll stay with this little battle right now as Johnson having a look, but no luck there. He's going to have to get a better exit than that to make his way past Robert Fagg. Further down the field, well, we don't have too many cars out, I'm glad to say. Looks like we've got battles going on all over the field. Ander Diaz down in 25th, under pressure here from Laura Bond. I think the panel beaters will be out in force after this race, Clyde.
Yeah, I think so. These cars are built fairly well, though. They do take a bit of door rubbing, so, you know, maybe people will calm down as the race goes on. Maybe they'll get worse. We never know with these races.
A new entry here from Linus Brostrom for MovieGo Racing. He's running in 28th, and don't forget 28th is not to be sniffed at in this competition, because that means that you are in the top 40, and there's plenty of people who didn't make it into this race even. So this is the top cut. Even if you're 28th, Clyde, you're still doing very well.
You certainly are. There was somewhere between 60 and 70 people in the pre-qualifying, so this is the cream of the cream in this car on this track at the moment.
So Simon Field has Aidan Walsingham just up in front of him, right on the back bumper of Walsingham's RCIB machine in the Rockstar livery there. Simon Field in the black 888 car. Walsingham getting a better exit at the final part of the circuit there, and they're still pretty much nose to tail. Oh, in the pits. Loosenoord's in the pits. from 6th place, so maybe he's low on fuel, Clyde.
Yeah, it could be a simple mistake of leaving your qualifying fuel in for the race. Maybe he got some damage. I didn't see anything.
No, neither did I, but there's so much going on the circuit, we can't rule that one out. It's pushed Walsingham up to 6th, so Simon Fields up to 7th. Richard Wilde is running in 2nd place. He's still behind Adam Terry. I don't know about you, but it looks like he might well have the pace to take this one, Richard Wilde.
Yeah, don't forget Richard Wilde sort of coming to his own at the back end of last season as well. I don't know if it was the final round or the penultimate round, he got into the lead and drove away from the field.
Down the inside, Richard Wilde onto lap 9 through Paddock Hill Bend. So Adam Terry uses some of the gravel maintaining the outside, and that's going to let Hoog in as well. Terry just about holds onto it into Druids here. So it's still 1, 2, 3, Terry, Wilde and Hoog. And the CQR boys behind are sniffing. Richard Wilde, no luck that time, but he did manage to get side by side. He was just showing Richard Terry there, I'm here, I'm going to make the move if I can. And I feel like Richard Wilde could have been more aggressive there, Clyde. I don't know about you, but... oh, and he's certainly more aggressive there as he gets into the back of Adam Terry coming out of Clearways.
Yeah, sometimes though, you've got to weigh up aggression versus points.
Well, the points have changed for this season as well. So down the inside again, Richard Wilde, Paddock Hill Bend, taking a lot of grass and just can't get the job done down the inside. And you know, sometimes that outside line at Paddock Hill can be the faster line. The CQR are having a real old ding dong behind though. Craig Burleson in 4th and Russell Laidler. We know Laidler's got the pace down the inside at Graham Hill, giving him absolutely no room though. Burleson. The two of them side by side. Laidler has to slot back into 5th position at the moment. And Martin van Lozenorde is now down to 35th place. So if that was a qualifying misfuel, then he's really paid for that one, Clyde.
I think he'll be absolutely fuming with himself if that's the case.
Last season's champion, who was taken out and pushed down to 16th place, is still going, and he's up to 11th. He's got Jamie Rushworth in his sights up in front of him, and fantastic recovery job there.
Yeah, if he can get himself into the top 10, that's a fantastic drive.
Matt Walker for KX Momentum is another new face there, and just look at all these cars coming through now. Tim Mawson leads the way. Oh, a little bit of contact just there behind. Reggie Blaine almost getting into David Wright there as they're side by side into Druids. White's very wide. It's allowing one of the Pertex through. Is that a back marker? It's difficult to see who's on which lap, Clyde.
It is very difficult, like I say. It's because the circuit is so small when we use the Indy, where people are, where they're going to go. You know, you can be 10, 15 seconds in the lead, catch up with a back marker, bit of contact, game over.
Oh, and side by side again, contact from Wilde and Terry. Wilde gets into the side of Terry there through Paddock Hill Bend, and Terry managed to hold on to it, and Wilde is now under attack from Hoog, and these guys have got back markers to worry about as well. Terry leads the way after 12 laps out of 16 here from Brands Hatch Indy. That KX Momentum car gets out of the way very thoughtfully, and wow, Wilde wants that win, you can sense it, Clyde.
He certainly does. I don't quite know what he's doing at the moment. Maybe he should just sit behind and put the pressure on Adam, see how he handles it. If it gets into a door banging session for proper, you know, they could both be out of the race.
Let's see what Wilde does this time through Paddock Hill Bend. He's only got 3 laps after this one to make a move, and Hoog's just waiting behind there in 3rd position. So Hoog... Oh, and Wilde goes wide. So can Hoog get down the inside? No, decides better of it. And it is worth pointing out that if you come second, you only get 1 fewer point than if you come first. And if you come third, you only miss out on 2 points. So Hoog's got to be sitting there saying, well, I'm in 3rd right now. If I don't win this one, I only lose out on 2 points out of 40, so it doesn't really matter, right?
That's right. With the new scoring system, as I said at the start, it's all about collecting points throughout the season. You can quite easily win this series now without winning a race.
And we saw that all the way through last season, didn't we? Katz did win races, but I think he only won 3 out of the 30 races. And that was all that was needed to win because he was so consistently at the top. Oh, that's Wilde there from Russell Laidler, he's off into the gravel, so he gives up some time there to his CQR, I say teammate, sister teammate if you like, Craig Burleson. That KX Momentum car, the white car in the background, is a back marker because 6th place belongs to this man, Simon Field from 888, and Robert Fagg in the Speedworks is just behind him. Katz is right on the tail now of Jamie Rushworth, so Rushworth has got 3 laps to hold on, and I wouldn't want to hold on for 3 laps with last season's champion behind me, especially seeing as this is my first race in the series.
And not only is it last season's champion, but it's last season's champion who's extremely angry at the moment.
Yes, the angry German looks to go down the inside of Druids. It looks like he'll make this one work as well. Rushworth is going to try and go around the outside, but not enough room to do it there, and Katz closes the door. He's through. So Martin Johnson is his next target. Martin Johnson is currently running in 9th place, but doesn't have a massive lead over Katz on the green mirrored eBay Motors machine. That is what Martin Johnson is seeing in his mirrors right now with 2 laps to go. Richard Wilde still can't get on the lead though, and the front 3 are just nose to tail still.
I've got a feeling we're gonna see a last lap lunge.
We're on to the last lap now. Terry leads the race from Richard Wilde, from Stefan Hoog, and Craig Burleson's dropped off quite a bit behind these guys. So it's now a 3-horse race coming through the final few corners. Will Wilde make a move into clearways? Just these 2 corners to go, the fast left-right, and then the very tough right-hander here. Wilde takes it very wide, but then nose to tail, and it's going to stay like that. It looks like Wilde does get a better exit, but not well enough to give him the win. So over the line then, Adam Terry says he's number 1 in the first race from Brands Hatch Indy. Richard Wilde 2nd, Stefan Hoog 3rd, Burleson and Laidler are 4th and 5th. Simon Field takes home 6th place, Fagg 7th, and I thought Aidan Walsingham was going to come home in 8th, but it's showing him in the pits in 22nd. So Martin Johnson has been classified as 8th there, as you can see on your screen. So Katz getting past Rushworth took him up to 9th, and Jamie Rushworth in his first race in this series is 10th place, so great result for him.
Yeah, some really good drives there. Obviously, Katz from his spin did well with the recovery. Rushworth, well done, finishing the top 10. Simon Fields, he didn't have such a good qualifying, but he got up there. And hats off to Adam Terry. He was under all sorts of pressure. He had bumps and bangs and everything. Held on, won the race. Congratulations.
Well, the points on your screen, unfortunately, are showing last season's point scoring system, so apologies for that, but the winner will be receiving 40 points, and then it just goes down by 1 point from there, so 2nd place 39, 3rd place 38, etc., all the way down. Or is it 60? I might need to check that one. Anyway, Adam Terry is the points leader after 1 race, but we've got 2 more races to come here this evening, the second one of which is due to start at 9:30 UK time, which isn't very long at all. So here on BSR TV we are going to get straight off air, get ready to bring you the second race. You'll have to tune to a different YouTube video for that one. Just go back to the main page and find round 2, and we'll see you on the other side.